every hiring manager wants a unicorn. They want someone that has 10 years of experience and that has done everything. But the reality is we need everyone to be a part of the workforce, from our junior level employees up to our VPs.
A hot take that you have on the TA space.
Yeah, my hot take is that we need to be hiring more entry-level employees into our companies. We cannot survive in the talent space without folks that are coordinators, that are starting out. We need our college grads to have jobs.
I disagree with AI replacing recruiters in general, because you need the human touch. You cannot have AI replace the entire process. And I know that some companies are considering it, but hot take, no way.
The opportunity is really in the process, and it's always been. So I don't really know why we're forgetting the fact that it's process re-engineering in our talent acquisition strategy and not replacing the human with AI. It's enabling the human and humanity with AI.
Legacy technology, one, and this is my own view, but applicant tracking systems, maybe it's not conventional wisdom, but recruiting's not linear. It hasn't been for a while. And we have a lot of legacy systems that drive linear processes that very soon we're going to move away from.
Yeah, so we need to evolve out of our compliance background.
Yeah, and compliance is important, right? We want to do the right thing. We want to be able to self-regulate in doing the right thing. But there's a different way to approach it. I think that is much more liberating and helps us focus on being human and making human-to-human connections.
I love as an ops leader, you're like, you know what, that base thing that everybody thinks is most important, actually not as important anymore. That is truly a hot take. Thank you. Matt, how about you?
I think that there's a impression that candidates do not like automated assessments directly after they apply. And really what candidates want is to understand what's happening, to have their expectations set, and to be evaluated for the role they are applying for. And they want to do so quickly, so they aren't waiting by the phone for someone to call them when the phone's never going to ring.
I don't think more is always better. I think we can actually fine-tune our process and fine-tune applicants and our candidate flow, and I don't think we need more anymore to find the perfect fit.
Okay, and tell me more about that. Is there a way that AI could actually evolve or change this conventional wisdom?
Yeah, absolutely. I think finding the right tool, I think there's so much out there, and I think everything's trying to compete with each other, but finding that right tool that can lay on top of your ATS, that can help solidify and score your candidates in the right way, can help you find the right candidates at a smaller rate, so we don't have to cast this wide net anymore. We can just spend less on applicants that are coming in and find the right fit.
I want a hot take. What is something that is a trend or a practice right now in talent acquisition that you just fundamentally disagree with?
That I fundamentally disagree with. Disregarding the inbound application bin.
I like that. Why?
Because there's a lot of gems there. I think we assume that the filters we have in place are working for their own good. And they're not. They're probably built on outdated systems and assumptions that we haven't visited in a very long time.
That's right. Yeah. Some others were talking about we got to get away from pedigree and that, I think that fits very well into it. But how do we fix that and how do we use AI even to help people not fall through the cracks?
I think how to use AI is talk about the job to be done versus the role to be filled. I think we think about the role to be filled all the time. This is the role. It has to have this. It has to do these things. But sometimes the role to be filled doesn't actually tell you the job that needs to be done. And the job that needs to be done actually farms out the actual skill sets and I would say the core mindsets that's needed to make that thing successful.
I would love to hear your hot takes on TA.
5 days in office is not all the rage. We want flexibility.
Tell me more about that. Tell me more about your experience with that.
I'm privileged to be at a company that we have 3 days in office, but I see a lot of companies moving towards five days in office, and I think that there's something that's really valuable about having the flexibility to work from where you want during those additional days of the week. If you want to take a long weekend, but you're crushing it on Monday and you're working from the airport, you should be able to.
Oh yeah, human first.
Yeah, and then you can still fly back to the nest Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and connect with your people.
That's great. Thank you so much, Boost. And how about you?
I like Boost's hot take. I think my hot take, so not in HR per se on the parallel of it, but I have a lot of people leaders that the hot take would be if your candidates that are applying for your company are using AI throughout your interview process, they're not, like it's a bad experience not only for your recruiter, but for your actual applicant. If you can't answer your questions genuinely, organically, and with your own passion, then you're not going to be a great culture fit.
That's so interesting because obviously like so many companies are not just asking but demanding their employees use AI in their day-to-day. So that creates an interesting dichotomy, right?
I would have to agree with you on that front. I think when you're, especially in the space that we're working at these companies, like you're really wanting to see someone's true colors in the interview process. AI is a great tool to help enhance the work that you're doing. Yeah. But when we're getting to know each other, that human aspect, I mean, it's one of the conflicts of AI is that AI is not going to replace any human interactions that we're having. It should really just increase your workflow and the ability for you to work from anywhere and to be able to do your job more efficiently, quickly, and to spend more time with your family.
I love that.
Hot take on TA is I think we need to try to remove AI from auto-filtering resumes.
And tell me more about that. Do you have experience with that? Is it something you've observed?
Yeah, sure. I think sometimes the ATS process, like, it can be gamed by people, and so I think if you remove the human element, you open yourself up to manipulation.
I think there's a lot of black box AI. There's a lot of screening and ranking and matching that's happening where the recruiters, the heads of TA, don't really know what's in that black box, that algorithm. We've seen a number of lawsuits. We've seen even some congressional oversight now coming in to our space. I think we're going to see a lot more of those. And the buyers of the technology need to take a beat and start to expect more information from their providers. Not that this isn't a blanket I'm throwing over the industry, but it's a big problem.
Like what's something that you think a TA leader, HR leader should be asking vendors right now, given the challenge that you just talked about? Yeah.
I think they need to explain and educate the buyers on their algorithm. They should be able to really precisely explain how a candidate or employee is being matched to an opportunity and why. Should be able to expose that and allow the employer to modify that. Should allow. While there's a benefit to everyone being screened, there's also a benefit to having humans on the loop and in the loop that are governing that with the machine, right? And I think understanding that capability exists along with the opportunity to impact the algorithm is important. It's your hire. It's not the black box's hire.
Like what